Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nathania Azzahra Febrina Marino. I'm a student of Persada Indonesia University. At this time, I want to explain my presentation. Before presenting this material, I would like to thank Mr. Budiantoro as an English lecturer for allowing me to make this presentation. The material that I will explain is, the first is psychology at a glance, and then the second is on being shy, and then the last is childhood depression. Okay, now I will explain the first material, psychology at a glance. First, what is psychology? Psychology is the study of individual activities, mind, and behavior. Psychology studies the individual activity throughout his span of life, from the beginning before birth up through the end of life. And then the second, name some individual activity. Psychology can be defined as science of the individual activities. The word activity is used here in a broad sense. It includes motor activity, cognitive activities, and other emotional activities. The third is give example of motor, cognitive, and emotional activity. The first is motor activity, is like walking and speaking, and then cognitive is knowledge getting activity, like seeing, hearing, remembering, and thinking. And then the last is emotional activity, is like loving and crying or feeling happy or sad. Is listening to music a kind of activity? Why? Why not? Yes, that is true, because listening to music is included in cognitive activity, where an example of cognitive activity is hearing. And then, what is meant by the science of human behavior is actually a group of science. So, that means science consists of several things, and the science of human behavior is also science. When do we call an individual completely inactive? The only way to be completely inactive is to be dead. So we call an individual completely inactive when the individual dies. The word activity is used in a very broad sense. What does it mean? The word activity is used in very broad of sense. This means that the activity in question is not only one type of activity, but includes many activities such as motor, cognitive, and emotional activities. What kind of activity is happening when you write a letter to your girl or boyfriend? The activity that occur when we write letters to our boyfriends are emotional activity, because we will feel various kind of emotions such as happiness, nervous, etc. Why do we study human behavior? First, to make better relationship with the other person, and then to understand ourselves better, and then so that we can understand human character. The last is what causes the difference between individuals. Some of the main causes of individual difference are heredity, environment, age, intelligence, temperament, and emotional stability, economic condition, and education. Okay, now let's go to the second material, on being shy. First, not many people are shy. It's true, because every people has different personality, so not everyone is shy. And then others make us shy. It's false, because shame comes from our own thought. Shy people have negative thoughts about themselves. It's true, because often we think that we are not as good as other people. Everyone is better, smarter, and more interesting. These negative thoughts make us embarrassed. At a party, try to speak with at least one person. This is a first step in fighting shyness. It's false, You must understand, because the first step in fighting shyness, you must understand that you cannot eliminate shyness overnight. And now let's go to the last material, is childhood depression. What happens when 5-year-old children say nobody likes me? The children get depression. What happens when 10-year-old children say nobody likes me? The children get depression. What will the children do when they get depression? They will be friendlessness, or they won't have any friend. Why do the children get depression? Biochemical predisposition, which may be triggered by specific experience and are more likely to be depressed themselves, suggesting a possible genetic factor, a reflection of general stress in ill families, or the result of poor parenting practice by disturbed parents. When the children are accused by their friends, will they get depression? Yes, they will get depressed because they feel pressured by the situation and think nobody likes me. What is are the symptom of childhood depression? Depressed children are frequently tired, extremely active or inactive. They walk very little, cry a great deal or cry a lot, have trouble concentrating, sleep too much or too little, lose their appetite, start doing poorly in school, look unhappy, complain of physical ailments, feel overwhelmingly guilty, suffer severe separation anxiety, which may take the form of the school phobia, or think often about death or suicide. What happens to the parents when their children get depression? They are more likely to be depressed themselves. My conclusion is, psychology can be defined as the science of the individual activities that studies about individual activity throughout his span of life, from the beginning before birth up through the end of life. The word activity is used here in a broad sense. It includes not only motor activity, but also cognitive, knowledge-getting activity. No matter how passive someone is doing an activity, he is actually doing an activity. Depression can also caused by suggesting possible genetic factor, a reflection of general stress in ill families, or the result of poor parenting practice by disturbed parents. That's all the material that I explained. I apologize if there is an error, either from my material or my pronunciation. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.